Good day, Losties, and welcome to the first thoughts for episode 9 of season 6, Aeterno. And we finally got our Richard Alpert-centric episode. So, was it all we were expecting for? I would say overall, yes it was. It was a pretty fun, good, enjoyable episode. The start, for me, dragged a little bit, I will say that now. At the very start of the episode where we found out where he came from Tenerife. And that, for me, it dragged a little bit. We kind of, I understand why it was in there, but we just, for ages, he was a prisoner, he was going to get killed, he was going to get hanged. It just took a little bit of time before we got to the island. When we got to the island, that was fantastic. So many things I didn't see coming. Man in Black, of course, the first person to discover him and made him believe that the whole place was hell, that it wasn't real. I was hoping from the start when Richard said that this place is hell and you're all dead and everything, that was a lie, because I don't want it to end that way now. I think we've come too far in Lost for that to actually be the case, and it would just be too easy a way of just throwing away many answers. So I really hope that's not the case. It would appear not. It was Man in Black who told him it was hell, of course, with that famous line, "Good to see you out of those chains," when he first met him and freed him. And he was claiming that Jacob was the devil and that Richard Alpert had to go and kill Jacob. So there's your proof that this has happened many times before, that Man in Black has come along and tried to get Jacob killed by other means. It's a war that's been going on for absolutely ages. Now, we learn a little bit more about this kind of game, this battle that's going on between them when Richard goes to meet Jacob. Jacob didn't know he had all those skills and everything, all that fighting he was doing against Richard to stop him from murdering him. But in the end they have a little conversation, and Jacob explains through the means of a bottle that the black smoke, MIB, is the darkness, not the band. Sorry, I have to keep saying that, don't I? But it's the darkness, it's the evil in the world, and it wants to get out there and corrupt everyone. Is that the case or not? Because the MOE, of course, always just says he wants to go home, but I don't know. It's really hard, isn't it, to judge who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. If you have theories, please let us know. I'm wavering on the side of Jacob being good again now, whereas I was firmly starting to believe that he was the bad one. Oh, I don't know. Is there a good guy and a bad guy in this show? This show's always been excellent at blurring the boundaries between lightness and dark. Maybe it has again. But anyway, Jacob says that he's protecting the island, well, protecting the world from MIB escaping. And he brings people to the island to try and prove to MIB that people aren't all corrupt or all bad. So far it's not worked, everyone has died, so it doesn't bode well for our Losties in the future. But that's the reason for Lost. This is why it happens. We know why it happens now. Having said that, Damon and Carlton have before said that the whole show would be possible to explain via science of some description. Can't see that happening at the moment. It's going very spiritual and religious again, very much like the first season was. So I don't know, there's supposedly more to come, but they have said they're not going to fully explain everything, so that might be your best you're going to get for what the purpose of Lost is, guys. That might be the best we're going to get. Not a bad explanation, at least it's not a dream. It could have been a hell of a lot worse. It was nice, of course, to see that the Black Rock, how it came to the island. The statue, that was the Black Rock that smashed it, that was a nice little touch. I have to say, I think there would be more damage to the ship than the statue in that sort of situation, but you have to suspend your disbelief a bit, don't you? I also don't think it's possible, really, for that wave to sweep it so far inland, but I wasn't there, I can't comment. At the end of the episode, we saw Richard. He was clearly decided that he changed his mind, he wanted to go and join MIB's team. But then Hurley, who'd been speaking to his wife all along, came along and let him know that his wife didn't want that to happen. He must stop the Man in Black from escaping. Which once again makes it look like Jacob is the right side and Man in Black's the bad side again. But Lost has never been that clear in doing things like that. It would be too obvious. And of course, Man in Black was sitting on watching when that happened. And we also got a little conversation right at the end between Jacob and Man in Black. Very reminiscent of the very first conversation they ever had back on that beach. Well, the first conversation we ever saw them have back on that beach in season 5. To suggest that it's happening over and over again. But now, in the history of Lost, with the oceanic people, the train has been broken and Jacob is dead. What happens next? Who knows? But I can't wait. That's the end of First Thoughts for this week. I'm sorry last week there was not a preview or a theories put up. That's my bad. So hopefully that will change this week and I'll get them up for you. There will be a review though tonight of this episode, a full review of what I thought of it. And we will be previewing next week's episode on Thursday. So thank you all very much for watching. The next episode is called The Package. Can hardly wait. Can't even really see something, guys. See you next week.
Thank you. And good luck.